Hi, Sam Cragg here. It seems like it's been a long time since I've seen all you guys, and that makes me sad. So this morning I'm here and I'm going to be talking to you about how we can get a little bit closer to God, and maybe use some of our creativity to do that. So in our prayer time, in our Bible time, just looking at ways which we can get a little bit deeper with Him and use some creative tools to help us do that. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is how do you start? Where do you start? What do you need? All you really need is a scrap piece of paper, some pens, maybe some colouring crayons, whatever you can get your hands on really. Your school pencil case will probably have everything in it that you really need. I've got everything and anything and everything, but realistically, I'd probably just use a biro or a pencil to get started. You need headphones potentially, and your Bible. That's it. Yeah, so the first thing I do is I put my earphones in and get some worship music playing, because I think that the hardest thing to do is to start, and the hardest thing to do is to let all the distractions drift away and actually concentrate on spending time with God. And I think that's where the creative element really helps me. So I've got some little exercises that I do to try and transport my mind from what's going on around, what's in my thought paths. If I've been on my phone scrolling for the last 30 minutes, it's very difficult for me to go from that to being in the presence of God. And God's always there, He's always waiting for us. So, God's just waiting for the opportunity to spend time with us. So we need to get into a place where we can actually do that. And so here's a sketchbook that I've got. And I've just drawn a spiral, and I trace this spiral with my fingers, and I would go there and back whilst I'm listening to a Bible song, and hopefully by doing that it would try and get me into a more focused position, focused place. Another thing is drawing a shape over and over and over and over and over again for a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes, maybe just a minute. It's just that kind of the idea of taking that journey to get into that space with God. Another thing I do is swirls and then fill in the patches. And you could just doodle on a page whilst listening to a Bible song and it would be absolutely fine. So yeah, give that a try. Okay, so one exercise that I've devised recently, which it really does get me to think about the day. It's just looking at the Lord's Prayer. It's really simple. The Lord's Prayer is in Matthew chapter 6 verses 9 to 13. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Yeah, so what I've done is I've broken down the Lord's Prayer into circles. So on the outer one I've got God's names, and that relates to Our Father in heaven, may your holy name be honoured. And then I've got another circle which is your kingdom. And I was thinking about how you could think about all the things you would imagine God's kingdom to look like, and how interesting and inviting that is to be creative with, and a really easy way to meet with God. And then you've got a ring of thank yous that relates to give us today the food we need, and we're thanking God for the things that He gives us daily, and there's hundreds of those things, so you spend quite a long time with those. And then the next ring is about forgiveness, and asking God to forgive us for the wrongs that we've done, and for the wrongs that we've done to other people. So I've kind of split it up between forgiveness and temptations, and then I've got Jesus in the middle. I mean, you could add rings or take away rings, it's really up to you. And this is kind of how I've made it look, really. It's nothing fantastic, my art's nothing to write home about, but it's just a creative, visual kind of way to note down and make time with God. You can clearly see that I love coffee and tea. You can also clearly see that I'm thankful for my family. I've got my family members on there. I've got words because I'm really interested in typography, which is the design of lettering. So I do quite a lot of lettering actually, although this doesn't show my best work. But yeah, it's just a really visual way of spending time with God and creating a page of doodles, following quite a simple idea of using the Lord's Prayer. Hi, another activity you could do whilst you're having some time with God is you could focus on a psalm or a particular verse, and just create some really wacky, cool, like lettering typography for it. Yeah, I mean, there's loads and loads of YouTube videos out there on how to do lettering. So it's just another way of focusing in on a verse and learning a verse, and letting that speak over your life. Because I think the more time we spend thinking about that verse and looking at the words and seeing what they mean and soaking them up, yeah, the more time we spend with it, the more time we've got a chance to actually live it out. So yeah, I really I would advise doing that. Yeah, so another activity you could do is just creating like a prayer board. It's quite simple really. You just gather together like bits of Bible quotes that you really like, that mean something to you. It might be pictures of your family, the people you want to pray for. It could be your favourite colour or your favourite setting, your favourite place to go. Yeah, just like genuinely anything on there. And feel free to be posting your things on Instagram as well, because that would be great to see what everyone's up to. I've also got this amazing Bible that is up for grabs. I'd love to see people taking pictures, spending time with God, how they do it, whether it's in their rooms, whether it's outside in the garden. This Bible is up for grabs for anybody who shows me that they've been spending some awesome time with God. I will ask questions, so you can't just take a picture of you and a Bible in your garden, okay? But yeah.